Hello, everyone. This is Roger Michalski from Eagle Financial Publications. And today I'm going to talk about education and being a better investor and an educated investor. When I started Eagle Financial Publications way back in 2003, it's hard to believe it's been that long. But not only did I want to help people grow their portfolios, secure their retirement, keep their money away from the government, but education was very important to me. We're not just going to tell you buy this. We're going to tell you what's happening in the stock market, why you should be buying this. Because if you're a more informed investor, you're going to be a better investor, and it's better for you long term. So that's one of the reasons I have teamed up with Lincoln Holbrook. And Lincoln, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so he's from Trusted Trading Institute, and we've teamed up with them, and we'll talk about that in a little bit about how we've teamed up to help our investors. But first, Lincoln, give us a little background about yourself.
Thanks, Roger. I appreciate this time. I also agree with what you say. I love listening or reading your experts. They send out emails, and I can say that in my experience, they send out very qualified emails. I mean, a lot of information about why they're doing what they're doing compared to a lot of the other experts that I've worked with. I've been teaching people how to trade literally since 1998. I started working with a company called Online Investors Advantage, eventually became Invest Tools, and they were eventually sold to TD Ameritrade for almost $1 billion. And so I've worked with thousands of people with them. My team and I have worked with several thousands more, probably 25,000 all told over the years. And for a long time at Invest Tools, they taught a very simple system: buy on 3 green arrows. When you had 3 green arrows, you buy the product, or you buy a stock or the option, however you wanted to play it. And I was drinking the Kool-Aid, and I did that. I took $20,000 and I turned it into $40,000 4 times. I did that because I had part of the recipe, right? You have to be able to have some sort of an entry mechanism. But then I realized I was drinking the Kool-Aid. I realized I wasn't the only one struggling to have consistent long-term success. A lot of people would make money, but then they kind of gave it all back, and they really kind of that yo-yo effect. They really struggled. And I wondered why. For a long time, I thought the reason why people struggled was them. The person was broken, if you will. They didn't have enough discipline. They weren't putting in enough time. They didn't have enough knowledge or whatever. But so I actually wrote a book called the Emotional Habits of the Successful Investor. And I thought that would solve the problem, but turns out it didn't actually solve the problem, not even for me, because the person wasn't the problem. What was the problem was I didn't have enough of the information that I needed. Enough of the way to think about things. And it took me a long time. I researched and researched and researched over years with multiple experts, training experts, trading experts, trying to figure out how to solve the problem. Why do you so, and you've told me this yourself, Roger, where you'll be talking to 2 different people on the same alert service. One's having a great experience and one isn't having a great experience. They're not happy with it. And the question,
and I'm like, how can the person not doing well when our track record's good? Like, what's going on? How are you missing out?
Yeah, exactly. What's happening that one person's doing well, the track record, the guru's doing well, but this other person isn't happy with the service. And what I found out is that in a lot of cases, in fact, all the cases that we ran into, the people that were not doing as well is because they didn't have the knowledge that they needed and about the rest of the machinery. Okay. I like to tell people, look, there is a way to take random price action and turn it into reliable profitability. And you do that by turning randomness into predictability. And I always say, well, think about flipping a coin. If you flip a coin on an individual flip itself, you never really know for sure if it's going to be a heads or a tails. What you do know is it's going to be either or, and you know that those results are going to come generally in streaks. They're not going to be heads, tails, heads, tails, heads, tails. They're just going to be some number of heads, then some number of tails. But you never know when the streak ends and a new streak begins of a different thing. But overall, you know that heads and tails will show up about half the time. And what we discovered is you can make that same level or get that same level of predictability in the marketplace, which suddenly changes the rules for regular folks that are trying to make money in the marketplace, because they suddenly have a roadmap that's clear and specific. I was in the Marines, and I actually went to officer candidate school when I was a younger man. And one of the classes they had us do was orienteering. And that's where they taught us how to read maps. They taught us how to count our steps, so we knew how many steps we would take in order to reach a certain distance. And then once we kind of went through all the preparatory phase, they drove us out into the wilderness and said, okay, you got to go. There was like a list of stations we had to hit, walk this many miles in this direction, this many, feet in that direction or whatever. And then finally we ended up back at the main place where we were supposed to be. And we went with 3 or 4 of us went out, and we were with an instructor, and we had to count our steps from place. And there was no marker that says we'd hit it on these other stations. It was just, we took dead reckoning and went that direction, this many feet, and we went that direction, this direction. And then the very last one, I was moving in that direction. I thought I was on where I needed to be, but my steps were over count. I'd already gone too far. And so the instructor said, hey, are you lost? And, I wasn't sure exactly where I was. And I said, yeah, I'm kind of lost. And he literally just opened up the bush in front of me, and there's where I needed to be. That's how close I was to having passed the test perfectly. And I'll never forget that. But when it comes to trading, I think it's very easy to second guess our decisions. It's very easy to wonder, am I even on pace? Am I moving forward? I had a loss here, but I had a win there. What's happening? And what we found is a way for people to understand or to gain a very sophisticated understanding of the probabilities, market probabilities, but in a simple way, in a way that really meets them where they are. So, for example, one of the things that we tell people is, do you have a trading edge? And a lot of people are like, well, I don't know. I know how to get in. The gurus that I'm talking to, the alerts that I subscribe to, they're helping me get into all these trades. and I always tell people, well, are you trading all of them? It's a lot of times people aren't having success because they filter. They're not taking all the trades. If they had a losing trade on this one, the next few they may not take because they're worried about another loss. And so that changes the ratios, it changes the rules, it changes the results for these people. And they don't know if they have an edge anymore because they're not following the alerts that they're paying for. And so I like to say we're going to help you understand the machine and all of the gears in the machine that help you turn random price action into reliable profitability. Alerts are one of the gears in the machine. Knowing what to buy and when to buy it, that's one of the gears in the machine. But being able to take all of the trades, that's another gear in the machine. You're actually following all of those alerts. Designing how much you spend on every one of those alerts so that you can take all of the alerts. You don't run out of budget. You risk the same amount on every trade. You're not risking $100 on 9 of the trades and $1,000 on the 10th trade because you feel good about it, because those trades are going to randomly sort of result in a win or a loss, and you want to make sure that there's consistency there. Feedback loop is another one. But all of these things can give you very specific, I like to say, look, we'll help you get very specific predictions in 5 areas, from win rate to win size to maximum drawdowns, annual rate of return. Like, we'll help you know exactly what to expect, and knowing exactly what to expect means that it's like you're running GPS with your trading. Mm-hmm. You're not just on a map hoping that you can figure out how many steps you walk and is it in the right direction. You have a lot more detail, a lot more specificity. One of the things that a guy named Jeff Colvin wrote a book called Why Talent is Overrated. There are some traders out there who make billions of dollars trading, and they're not making billions because they're lucky. They're not making billions because they have a goal that they want to have billions of dollars worth of account sizes someday. They're making billions because they have a systematic approach, and they're all about the process. really successful people are less concerned about the goal. They have a goal for sure. They know where they're headed, but they're really focused on the process of attaining that goal. And their goal, so they're just like process focused. And you can't just say, well, my process is, you know, I'm going to hope that this trade turns out. Or my only part of the process is I'm going to buy these alerts and then not follow them, you know. It's the process. If you have a complete process, then you can have a more systematic approach, more rules-based approach, and you'll get more consistency. Because you're more consistently approaching the market, you'll get more consistent results from it. So what we can do, what we do with our students that work with us is we just help them understand some of the things, you know, reset expectations and start getting very, very clear about multiple aspects of their trading, which helps them be more systematic in what they, you know, just follow the rules. And they can see, what I love about it is somebody can say, okay, like last year, I made a prediction that I would do 300 trades and that I would make about 100% return. And I ended up with 270, 80 trades and an almost 100% return, 96% return. And I did that even not trading for 2 months, you know. So I had a prediction at the beginning of the year. I was able to meet prediction by the end of the year. And that's a way of trading that changes all the rules, you know. It makes all the difference in your ability to know why I'm doing what I'm doing. You've made the decisions, you've accepted the trade-offs with those decisions, and you end up at a place that makes sense to you and is also in line with what you're trying to achieve, your process goals, right? What you're hoping to do.
Yeah, this is exactly why, you know, I wanted to partner with Lincoln. We partnered up before we became friends. We've actually become good friends as well. But I knew his background, and this is something we can't do in our services. We can't go through all of this. We can, you know, our guys are telling you, you know, the best picks to make, when to buy, when to sell. But there's so many psychological parts of investing, and there's so many disciplines and all those things Lincoln just talked about. And you know, this is exactly why we're working together, because together we're helping you out there become better investors and make more money, and that's what it's all about. So one of the things we've done is we have a free weekly class that Lincoln runs every week. And tell us a little bit about that. It's free, and there's going to be a link right below this video where you can sign up for free. But tell us about what happens in those weekly meetings.
Well, thank you for that opportunity. Yeah, those weekly meetings were designed to just help people. One of the benefits of what you do with your experts is you talk to a lot of people. You give a lot of people value in terms of and I love the market commentary. All of your gurus, all of your experts provide comprehensive commentary about what's happening in the marketplace. And I've worked with lots of companies that have a lot of experts who are selling a lot of programs, and I've never seen the level of comprehensive market overview that you guys give every single week. Thank you. With everything. So I think that's awesome what you do, but it's still kind of a one size fits all, you know, approach. And even the alerts are going out sort of one size fits all, and not everybody's the same. And so one of the things that we do in that class is we have time to just for individuals to ask questions, you know, about, well, this went out to thousands of people, but how do I apply it? How does it work for me? What do I might not know quite how to do a put or buy a call, or may not how to place an order, or I may not even have, how do I even get qualified for my broker so that I can actually make these trades? And so it's a format for people to just ask questions that they might not know how to ask anywhere else. And it's just a very informal. I've been doing this for a long time. I've worked with thousands of people. I'm very knowledgeable. And if I can't help you, I know people who can. So I look at that class really as a place for people to just get one-on-one help. It is a class, and there are people there, but I would expect you to contribute, ask questions. It helps everybody else that's there Ask questions, get your resolve some of your concerns, remove whatever friction you might have as it relates to implementing these trades. I know a lot of people that have bought these programs, and they're all excited when they buy them, but then there's a friction that happens. I don't quite know what he's talking about. I don't quite know how to implement that order. Whatever it is, we're here to solve that for you in that class. It's a way for me to give to he's a friend of mine, to give back to Roger, but it's also a way for me to connect with you as a person trying to make this work for you, try to make trading profitable. And in the process of doing that, I'm hoping to provide value, right? I'm on a mission, Roger. I think you can feel that. My dad, he was poor, and he didn't know the market. He didn't know how to make his money make money. He worked hard for his money. He taught me to work hard for my money. But so for a long time, I thought if I was going to be rich, I had to make enough money to save enough money to be rich. But very few people can do that. Very few people have careers that will allow them to make enough money to save enough money so that they can retire in comfort. They have to learn how to put their money to work. And it's something that my dad never really did. Now, he's a baby boomer, and he did things right in terms of saving, but his retirement isn't anywhere near what it could have been had he learned how to make his money work for him. So I'm on a mission to help people put their money to work. Whatever I can do to make that easier, simpler, more consistent, that's what I'm all about.
Yeah, well, we have similar backgrounds there. My story is very, very, very much the same as yours there. Another thing that I didn't, we haven't ever even talked about that, but yeah, it's kind of the same thing on the history on my side too. But well, this is exactly why we partnered together, with Lincoln and Trusted Trading Institute and Eagle Financial Publications. As a whole, we give great advice. We have I'm biased, of course, but I think we have the best, gurus in the business, and we've got great track records. But there's another level that can take your investments to the next level, and that's working with Lincoln. And the first thing to do is sign up for the Wednesday classes.
Yeah.
There's a link right below this. It'll take you over to his website. You sign up, then you can come in every Wednesday, and that's a good entry point and get to know Lincoln. And then if you want to take it to the next level after that and work with Lincoln, and he's got all sorts of programs where he'll work just one-on-one with you, and it's fantastic. So any other final words about everything, Lincoln?
No, thank you for the time. I really do appreciate it.
All right. Well, again, this is Roger Michalski from Eagle Financial Publications, and encouraging you to sign up for the weekly webinars with Lincoln. And thank you for watching this video, and I wish everyone a very profitable day. Goodbye.
Bye.